Okay.
Yeah. I like that it starts with me rubbing my nose,
As
as it always does.
yeah.
So, welcome to this podcast or whatever. Uh, I'm Andre Jackson. Um, that guy.
Hi, Andre.
Yeah. Who are you again? What's your name?
My name is Alexander Smolinski.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
19 years old. I've got a
Yeah.
perfect body.
Perfect. Yeah. He's a fine physical specimen.
Woo!
That's right. We're talking today about assorted anime and anime related type antics. Apparently, my dog has other designs. That's okay. So yeah, we're here. We're gonna talk about it. This is the animeism podcast. Uh, Now, I know there's been 3 episodes roughly for the season thus far for the good majority of the shows. I'm just gonna get right into it, man. What's your favorite right now? What are you really digging?
My absolute favorite, just one.
I mean, if you had to like turn a guy such as myself who, uh, let's say, fairly resistantly continues to fight the force that is getting into anime despite trying to produce an anime himself for no apparent reason other than the sport of it, what would that anime be that you would suggest? Like, you're like, hey, guy, get on board, watch this thing. What you got?
I would say out of the new ones, and we're just talking about ones that have started 4 episodes ago, so we're not including like One Piece or Naruto or anything that's continued on from the previous season.
Right.
I would pick Aoharu by Machine Gun. That would be the one that I would tell you to watch because that's the one that I think that I could marathon if there was anything to marathon, even though there's not anything to marathon because there's only like 4 episodes. But it's the kind that you can kind of just like the story sucks you in and it's like a tournament and it just makes you want to see the next one as soon as the previous one ended.
So
And
it's them who are throwing hands. Survival games. Okay.
Right. It's kind of like a paint gun kind of thing. Like this girl who everyone thinks is a boy. She gets picked by these two guys to be on their team so they can compete in this tournament. And they're like awesome, and she's like a novice. But they think that she's a guy, and they only want to work with guys. So she's pretending to be a guy. It's a whole thing.
So it's a combination of sexism and androgyny in addition to survival games. Is that what I'm led to believe here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, is androgyny like a theme for like this anime season, or is it,
It's a theme for every anime season.
Okay, fair enough.
Common one, but this is probably the one that it is the most prevalent in at the moment. Although there are a couple that it is prevalent in, but that's
Okay.
That's the one that I would pick.
Okay. Who's your number two?
Who's my number two?
Who's your Gary Payton and Hershey Hawkins combination?
Well, clearly Gary Payton's number two. Hersey Hawkins is like down the line. But I mean, because we're saying Machine Gun was Kemp, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, but I'm just trying to give you a point guard, off guard scenario to work with. But I mean, yeah, Kemp's obviously number one.
The point guard, I suppose the Gary Payton of this scenario, I would have to say would be Raka, the Legend of the Six Braves.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you had a chance to catch that one at all?
I have not.
He has not. It's a good one. It's on Crunchyroll. I think they're 4 episodes in. Basically, the story is that every few generations, this evil something or other demon of sorts rises up, and to counteract him, 6 braves are selected, the 6 strongest warriors on the planet at that time.
Now they are in fact called braves. I'm sorry, I just have to clarify. It's intentional. Okay, all right.
Like the Atlanta Braves, if you'd like to.
Yes. I just wanted to know because that just seems like an odd title for like guy who's going to save the world. The Braves, we're with it. Go ahead.
So Chipper Jones, and, John Smoltz, Greg Maddox, that whole rotation, Tom Glavine, They're all
yeah.
they're all out to save the world. But no, basically the six Braves have to meet up with each other, and then they get to kind of trespass into this land where they have to go find this demon guy and fight him. And
Okay.
the air is poisonous in that land to anyone other than the six Braves. So that's why it has to be them, and they have to go defeat this guy. But basically, 4 episodes in, they finally fully assembled their crew, and they're ready to proceed. But it's a good adventure based anime.
Okay. Okay. So like, is it the training that they receive that allows them to navigate the scenario? Are they just tougher than everyone else? Is that explained?
They're basically from
No.
around the world, and they're assembled. Basically, the way that you're selected is you're just chilling there one night, and then all of a sudden this crest appears somewhere on your body. Like the main character, all of a sudden, just like down, I think it was on like his wrist or something. He just looks down, and that crest is there, and that's how he knows that he's been selected as one of the six Braves. And I think it happens simultaneously for all
For all
six.
six. Okay. So you just look up, what? Like that kind of thing.
Oh, cool! And then
Nice.
you like leave on your adventure instead of like farming or whatever the other option is at that time.
Yeah, farming blows. Don't do it.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to farm.
No. Now, I got to give you a little bit that I have seen. I saw Charlotte, and that, let me tell you, that was crazy. Now, I don't know if that's new, or just like...
It's that
okay.
new. It's only on episode 4, so.
Okay. The visuals of Charlotte were... I was like, is this actually a cartoon, or are you just yanking my chain? Like, it was beautiful. What did you think of it? How did you feel?
On my top 10 list, it's at number 6, but I still
number 6.
It's number 6, but it's still very high because I'm watching like 30 shows right now.
That is fair. That's a fair comment.
It's like an A-. I think it's great. I like that they struggle to use their powers completely. I like that they all have imperfect powers, so like the fast guy can't really like slow down, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And, I think it's funny, like you said, the animation's really good, and I made a video that's on YouTube showing that in the first episode how the main character is a lot like Dennis from Always Sunny, using the Dennis system on one of the first girls that we meet. So it's funny, so you should check that out.
Yes. Would you like to tell them about your YouTube channel, perchance?
No. It's
fair enough.
Alexander Smolinski. Just YouTube that, or YouTube just Always Sunny Charlotte, and it has to be the first thing I do.
All right, there you go. All right. So, other things that I've seen, Prison School. What in the world is happening with Prison School? You got guys in like clearly like 1950s style like prison jumpsuits, like not even the orange joints, it's like the black and white stripes. You've got masochistic superintendents and what have you going on. Like it's a lot of that like riding crop smacking you in the face. A lot of that. Bam.
Oh, yeah.
Also I like doing this also.
Yeah.
In the podcast.
Yeah, a lot of, if you could do as many physical gags in this podcast as possible, I think that'd be great, because we are putting the video out, but I assume a lot of people will just listen to it. So if you can do any things that are just strictly visual, that would be fantastic.
I'm just gonna give you some of these, I suppose.
Yeah.
Hip hop parade.
Some tutting. Some like F scale tutting.
Yeah, like we can do all that. We can do it all. We got it all. But back to prison school, school prison. So tell me a little bit about that for those of us who are unaware of the prison school scenario.
Well, prison school up until this week actually was previously my sixth man, my Hersey Hawkins, if you will.
If you will.
I have prison school at my 5. It's my big man. It's number 5 in my top 10. Prison School is definitely the funniest one. It's got like a Revenge of the Nerds kind of feel going on almost, where it's it's like the camaraderie of the like nerdy team, like like they've almost kind of like, I like that it starts out as them trying to impress all these like cute girls, but now it's almost moved on to like them like the cute girls hate them so much already that they've almost totally given up on that, and now they're almost trying to get their revenge on the cute girls. And that's not completely accurate because that's not what's happening at all, but it could go in that direction.
Could go in that direction. I gotta ask you, if you're breaking out of prison to go get figurines, where's your head? Like, what are you thinking if your whole game is let's break out of prison to go on a date with a girl, but then I have to break back into prison? Like, like he's a teen. What's he thinking? Can you take me there?
I mean,
can you put me?
I think I can take you there, Andre. As I stated before, I am 19 years old.
It's true.
You have a perfect body.
Perfect. Fine physical specimen.
So I can take you there.
Yes, please.
I think that definitely what he's thinking is like, I'm in jail.
Yeah.
My friends are starting to get a little suspicious about me. And
in what sort of way? In what sort of suspicions are arising, sir?
Well, they definitely think that the two guys are railing each other because they've been creating this plot where obviously the one is trying to break out so he can go on a date with a girl and they can watch a sumo wrestling match with each other and it will be fantastic. I'm sure they'll fall in love on the spot, which is where his head's at.
I mean, sumo wrestling, how can you beat it?
You can't. So them and a girl that likes sumo, you know, how can you beat that?
Marry her today. Today.
Gotta lock that shit down. But so anyway, so the other guy that's helping him break out though is like the true crazy mastermind nerd, and you can see that from the start. Is, you know, they got the glasses and the long hair and whatever.
Yeah.
But he is just taking L after L to make sure this goes successfully, and it's still just not looking great. But
a sequence of L's.
He wants, and what's in it for him is that he gets this otaku merchandise for this show that he's in love with, and it's limited edition, and he needs it. And so they've got to successfully sneak this guy out for a 3-hour span one weekend so he can accomplish all these goals.
A 3-hour span.
A 3-hour tour.
This is, yeah, seems a lot like Gilligan, unfortunately.
It is basically Gilligan Island. God damn it.
Didn't we just ruin it for you, son of a biscuit?
It's the exact same plot as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes, I love it.
Development.
Yes. So you've got me with number 5. You've got me. Well, he was a 6-man. Now number 5. Number 2. Who just, you know, if you got a 10-man rotation, you know,
round out the 2 missing ones.
Just round them out.
Well, because I gave you number 1 was Machine Gun.
You're right.
Names 1, and you should check that one out.
Yes.
Number 2 is Raka.
Right.
And number 3 is not. I'm gonna get yelled at because it's not actually an anime, but it is on rotation Crunchyroll, and it's awesome, and everyone's trying to slam it, but it's actually my favorite one, maybe.
Okay.
The only reason it's at 3 is because it's live action. It's the new Death Note TV drama.
Oh, you don't say Death Note.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's the episodes are like 45 minutes long each, but it's live action, so it's easy to watch. It's like watching Heroes, you know, like when you think of watching like a 45-minute anime, that's like a lot of reading, a lot of, you know, characters talk really fast, but in live action, they just speak kind of normally. That, you know, it's not at that ridiculous pace that anime speaking is at. So it's a lot easier to watch like casually, and you don't have to like sit there like you're studying. But I don't think you're too familiar. Well, no, you are familiar with Death Note, aren't you?
I'm aware of Death Note. Yes.
You've seen a couple episodes, right?
Yes. Yes. So wait, how does it actually translate in the same way? Like, you know, he's just like writing names in the book, and it was like, oh shit, like, is that how's it going?
Well, in the original Yagami Light, the main character is he's kind of like more conniving, but in this one, he's more of like an everyman, and a lot of people were not happy with that at first. He's kind of like he just works at a restaurant, and he starts, you know, he finds the Death Note just like in the normal anime, but his methods and his head are not quite as menacing.
Right.
But he, you know, it's at episode 4 now, and he's starting to get a little bit of a god complex at this point. So,
okay.
What I find most interesting about it is they're taking the plots from Death Note, and they're like like mismashing them like out of order and recombining them. So
Okay.
like it's not a redo of the anime, but everything is familiar.
All right. Because I know the one thing that I did enjoy about him is he was a bit of a loon, a bit of a, I'm just gonna try to like quietly take over the world and just destroy everything because I can because I have this death note kind of guy. Like that was who he was. It was
Right.
exciting.
It was a
And
good idea
then
part.
yeah, and then like I heard they kind of watered him down, and I was like, that's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah,
But
but it works. It's fine. I'm glad it's different. I think I would be bored with it by now if I was just watching a show that I've already seen.
that's fair considering you're taking in 30 shows at a time over the course of a week or two. You know, it's pretty. You got to keep it fresh. You got to keep it fresh.
Gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah. So you've got other guys on the Brett Hitman Hart list, hit list.
Yeah, number 4 on my Brett the Hitman Hart list is Do Ra Ra Ra.
Oh yeah.
Is cheating kind of because it took last season off, but it is a continuation. But I don't care because I love Do Ra Ra because it has all of my favorite characters in anime. It took like all the anime that I'm watching right now, and I had to pick like my top 10 characters. I bet Do Ra 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 would have 5 or 6 of them.
Fair.
But the problem with Do Ra Ra is like they forget that at some point you have to stop developing characters and their backgrounds, and you have to initiate some sort of plot. But they'll get to it; they'll figure it out. But right now, it's still just like episode after episode of just like, and then there was this character, but in their past, this happened. So
they're just unpacking him.
They're too good at making characters, so they keep introducing new characters, but they haven't actually like formulated anything for them to do. But they'll get to it. I'm confident of it.
I mean, but when you are too good at making characters, is it not the only thing you want to do? Is just to keep making characters? I mean, sure, it defeats the purpose of actually having a plot, you know. But like, from what I understand, Naruto just does this similar sort of thing with just filler all day. So, and I think I might have kicked a hornet's nest with that one. So I'm gonna.
Well, everyone, right? But yeah,
everyone hates it. It's okay.
Shouldn't encourage anyone to be doing the sorts of things that Naruto is doing, though.
Exactly, and that's where we're gonna step away. So we hit number 5, number 6. Who's number 7?
I would call that Rampo Katan, which I think that you've actually seen a bit of.
Yes. Now refresh us for the Rampo Katan for those of us who are unfamiliar.
Rampo Katan is about. It is basically taken from novels from one of the very first Japanese novelists on the mystery front, like the noir era. Is I want to say that he died in like 1965, and he was born in the late 1800s, like 1890 something. So basically, they've taken a bunch of his novels and they've adapted them to an anime, and the episodes are either like 1 or 2 episodes long, or sorry, the plot line. So it kind of shifts. It's not one overlying arc.
So it's like a sequence of novellas.
Well, okay, sorry. There is an overlying arc because there's main characters and they are working towards something, but the plot, it's very episodic. Sometimes there's like a part 1 and a part 2. But anyway, it's kind of like serial killer kind of stuff. It's very the first few episodes were about a man who was turning his lovers into human chairs. He was like cutting off like their heads and arms and feet.
I'm gonna say this again. You said human chairs.
Yes.
Like a chair that was once a man.
Like just the torso, and it was like with like the breasts and like the stomach.
Are they sturdy chairs?
I was not offered the opportunity to actually lay down in one or sit in one, but I would imagine so. I imagine it'd be a lot like sitting on a person.
What is he using to reinforce these chairs? We're getting off topic. Off topic.
I'm thinking probably wood. I mean, but maybe like graphite. Maybe some graphite.
Maybe graphite. That's fair. I mean, see, like, now, because that takes me in a different direction, because now I'm thinking of him being like an installation where he's, just like, they're not really for sitting, but they're for show, like in a museum.
Yeah.
He's just got like
Yeah,
7 human chairs just like spread around.
tagline, like, these chairs aren't for sitting though.
Exactly. It's just somebody's elbow like being a chair leg or something. That's crazy. Well, exactly. See you with it. You got it.
Yeah.
You're jiggy. You got the 411. Yeah.
Does this look like a chair to you?
Does that look like a chair to you? I would say yes. I would say yes. It could.
All right. Maybe you'd probably like Rampo Katan then.
I think I will. I think I do.
So it's really creepy. I'm into it. It started a little stronger than it's been the last couple weeks, and that's another one that's for getting into the androgynous areas for you. The male character, a couple episodes in, has decided that he likes dressed like a girl. So that's part of it. So that's
How do you do?
Yeah. I'm into it. Looks better like a girl.
Had a baby face. Yeah.
And then just to round out my top 10, number 8 would be Gangsta, which did you check that one out at all?
Oh my goodness, Gangster. Yes. Now, I only saw I saw the first episode, and I know the tags thing is like their main game. It's like, oh shit, he's a tag. Watch out. Can you expand a little bit about the tags?
Not so much, because they haven't expanded about the tags, but from what I gather, it's pretty much just a scenario where what your tag says is, kind of like your ranking. So like our main character, the one who is hard of hearing, his tag says A/0, which I think is like top level. But with the Japanese, sometimes S might end up being. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an S rank or something above A. But for now, that we're in the middle. Episode 4 just took place, and we're in the middle of a tag fight between 2 A-0s, and it's a good fight.
Okay. Number 9.
Number 9 is Ushio and Tora, which is about a man who lives in like a temple where a beast was being kept pinned up against a wall for 500 years by a giant spear.
So he's pissed.
Right, so he's pissed off, and the kid takes the spear out, and when he takes the spear out, the beast is released, but he is also, the kid is then, the spear, those who hold the spear become this fighting monk character with long flowing hair and like extreme spear abilities. So basically this beast is constantly now haunting this kid, but they fight other demons together because the demon's not powerful enough to kill and eat the kid yet.
Yeah, I mean, the logical question is, why'd you pull out the spear, buddy? Like, what were you thinking?
Because the problem is he didn't know what the situation was with the beast. See, the beast was under a door, and he opened the door because his dad was on vacation. His dad's like, "Don't go in the basement." The kid's like, "All right, you're right." So he's probably like looking for like a place to like blaze or something, and went in the basement, and the door. He saw that, and he was like, "Well, I'm opening that." Anyway, when he opened the door, the demon, even just from doing that, the demon was able to pull other demons towards him. So all these demons start going all haywire. So Ushio had to take the spear out of Tora so that he could
deal with the other demons.
He could go fight the other demons, and so that he could use that demon to fight the second demons. Even though that doesn't make any sense, it's kind of like
counterproductive.
Kind of like Jurassic World.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's heartbreaking.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. I think the overarching lesson from this is, A, don't have kids, and B, don't go on vacation and leave your kid in a space that's too sensitive to the matters of demon and demon restriction.
The two overarching lessons for this show are: don't have kids and don't go on vacation. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Number 10.
Yeah. So number 10 is, Overlord.
Number 10.
Number 10's Overlord.
Overlord.
Same themes. Don't have kids. Don't go anywhere. Don't get on like a plane or leave your home or anything.
Don't experience life. It's too dangerous.
Don't. Where are you going? Stay here with me.
Right.
Number 10 is Overlord, which is kind of like a Sword Art Online kind of thing where the guy is in a video game and the server is going to get cut. It's been on for like 11 years. It's like a World of Warcraft, but a visual one where you're inside the game, like Sword Art Online.
Okay.
It's like the first big one, and the one of the main guys that loved the game so much and had like a big guild is there, and he's gonna chill in the server until the last second when they cut it. Then he's gonna take his thing off and return to the normal world. Well, anyway, when the server gets cut, he's like the only one still in this world because everyone else has moved on to other video games anyway. So he's just like in there remembering the memories, and chilling and waiting for this video game to end. But when the clock counts down to 0, instead of logging him out, it just starts counting forward at that point, like 1 second, 2 seconds, and so on and so forth. And then kind of like Sword Art Online, he all of a sudden can't log out. He can't call for help. He can't talk to anyone. And he's like locked in this video game.
So he can't take the Oculus off. He's just like physically
stuck. He's stuck in the Oculus. And so now where this differs though from Sword Art Online, because at this point I was like, well, I've seen this before. But where this differs is where in Sword Art Online, everyone is locked in the game and has to come together to like beat the game to get out. This is like he's the only guy in it. And when the clock, started, instead of reversing time, started going forward, all of the players, all of the computer players come alive, and all of a sudden he's like dealing with players that they have coded themselves. Like they created like their own fortress, and he was like the big king of the fortress. And now all of a sudden he's like really living out this world where he's the big king, and he's got like these 10 like mercenaries working under them that him and his buddies like basically created as avatars. He has to decide if he's like, now he's in this world, like he's never interacted with them like real people before, and he has to decide if they are trustworthy, and if he like really all of a sudden he has to like, he's like actually like a kid.
He's king.
He needs to pretend to be like the big king, or like people are going to start like trying to like take his throne from him. So
let this be a lesson to you folks: do not trust the Oculus, because.
Right. And also, what's funny is like he's like this big skeleton dude. It's just the avatar he made for himself is like this massive skeleton. He looks like a villain. And like Anthony was watching Overlord, and it was like Overlord. He watched like the whole first episode and was like, "Man, that bad guy is crazy in Overlord." I was like, "That's the like main protagonist."
No, bro, you got it all wrong.
But he looks like such a villain. But that's just what he's locked in as now. It's like skeleton guy.
Skeleton guy. All right.
That's good. That's my top 10.
Top 10. Okay. Pushing forward. Who do you see coming to be the new player in town? The new fresh deals. The hot new madness.
That is possibly the biggest question that have ever been asked. But I'm assuming what you mean is who outside of the top 10 do I feel like could possibly challenge for one of those spots? Is that what we're talking about?
In a roundabout way, I guess, yes. That's I'm just trying to find the fresh deals, man. I just want to know what's good in the streets.
Where you've been getting these cans at.
I just want to know where you've been getting the cans, bro. In these cans. That's all. But no, seriously, new shows to be on the lookout for, things you're excited about. And I mean, let's not just limit it to just plots, because plots are easy. Like, is there like a style of drawing that you've seen that's really kind of caught your eye? I know for me, like when I saw Charlotte, granted Charlotte is new, but the animation of Charlotte is what really pulled me in. And like, it wasn't what I was used to in terms of like the traditional, like it looked less like a cartoon and more like it could be like, not necessarily realistic, but it pushing the envelope forward, you know.
Right, somewhere in between.
Yeah, you know.
I think that Symphogear GX, which just kind of got put on Crunchyroll a few weeks late, but Symphogear GX, you should check out the first couple episodes of that. I think that has the best action by far. Like that's the one that looks most like a freaking Avengers movie or something. Like that's the one that's got like the most beautiful action in it. And it's funny because it's about like idol girls that sing, but they beat so much ass and like people die. Like people are just getting like shot and murdered and like cut in half. And these like Britney Spears, Katy Perry girls of Japan are just like their mouths are moving like with the lyrics. So like they are singing the songs and they are murdering fools. It's just beautiful animation.
That
so
sounds...
I recommend that one to you. And also Snow White with the red hair.
Snow White with red hair.
With the red hair. That's Snow White with the red hairs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Snow White with the red hairs is on Funimation, and it's just like it sounds. It's got the Disney quality of animation. It's not. I don't think it's made by Disney. I don't think it has anything to do with Disney. Obviously, they're calling it Snow White. It's actually the story of Sleeping Beauty because sometimes they're confused.
All right.
But they've called it Snow White. It is the story of Sleeping Beauty, but it's got really good animation, and it's one that I would argue that the girlfriend would like also.
Fair enough.
It's like Disney quality all around.
All right. Yeah, we got to get the girlfriends involved. So there you go.
We always do.
Another question for you. In terms of like, you've been consuming anime for a while, I would say, as an aficionado.
Yeah.
What, like, would you say this is the most exciting season of anime that like they kind of come out seasonally, obviously, but like on a 3-month run or so, like comparing this to like, this time last year, like would you say you've got the best batch?
I don't know about this time last year. I'd have to look into it, but the last few seasons have been not as good across the board. Like we just gave the top 10 and I think all those are great, but there's also like Classroom Crisis where they have to worry about their budget and they're doing like rocket launching things and stuff like that. That's very cool. Wagnaria is really funny. You've got ones like Venus Climax that are really bizarre and really Venus Climax is weird because half the episodes are an anime and every other week the other half of the episodes are a live action with three of the voice actresses from the video game versus 3 of the voice actresses from the anime on like a game show.
Okay.
It's like really entertaining.
Okay.
But, like ones like that and God Eater, who knows what's going to come with that, and a few other ones. It's good across the board. I will say though, and this is something and this is maybe a whole topic on itself that we could talk about in a second. But
Charlie, okay.
But there's or later on, but there's a lot of banging ones this season. That's probably my only disappointing factor.
Okay.
And I like them all, of course, but
sure.
There's like 7 of them that are like strictly about just girls screaming, and which is great.
So, because like what is the one? It's like they're monsters, like monster girls, the monster girls.
Monster Musume, the everyday life with monsters. Now,
like it was just gratuitous. It was amazingly gratuitous.
Right. Now, I will say that I do want to sleep with the snake girl and the bird girl. I am.
Okay.
I would. Yeah. For someone who wants to have sex with monsters like myself, this show is great. But I feel like it's better as just like a hentai. So I'm more excited to see what like Rule 34 does with it.
Okay.
But I'm not into the horse girl. She frightens. The centaur. She frightens and confuses me.
Well, I mean, centaurs. What are you gonna do?
No, that's the problem.
Isn't it? Well, yeah, that is the problem, isn't it? Yowzer. I don't know. So, I'm a guy who likes the anime, but I don't know. I don't know where to take it. Like I don't know what's the best method. Like I'm trying to get other people involved. You guys are trying desperately to get me involved. say I want to be like you and get other people involved, but I need something that's like the throwback to my childhood that really pulls me in. And then I hear that they're trying to do new things with Dragon Ball. Like, is that the way to go? Do I go back to Dragon Ball? Do I like try to find some sort of Gundam? Like, what's
No,
like?
because
Is this
no, don't. Well, you can't. Don't. Well, now, are you talking about watching the new Dragon Ball show? Because that's probably going to be pretty disappointing. But
it's possible?
the if going back and watching like the original Dragon Ball, I would never like deter someone from doing that. But it's really, I mean, obviously it's really long. It's a big commitment, and it's, I don't know. It's kind of like a time and place thing for me. I think I like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z a lot more when I was in like middle school.
Sure.
Earlier.
Well, I only ask because I know they're releasing new episodes of Dragon Ball. And
yeah.
So,
and the thing is I will watch as much Dragon Ball Z as is given to me, or you
fair.
know, but like by Akira Toriyama. But I wouldn't. This new series seems pretty cartoony so far. So far, it's definitely TBD.
Okay. Okay. Any other touchstones you want to hit?
I want to touch real quick on the ones that I'm probably going to abandon, or maybe give, or am near abandoning.
Yes.
Which would be the banging section for the most part, which is actually I am, which is my favorite title for an anime. Because you say it like Chandler, kind of. Well, actually I am.
Yes. Yes,
But
indeed.
that one's about banging aliens and vampires and journalists, and I'm into that. So I'll probably
And journalists.
Yeah, so I'll probably all the hits, all the big ones. So I'll probably put that one around. Monster Musume we already talked about is about banging the bird and the snake, but not the horse for me. That's
Not the horse. No.
Not into it. Sky Wizards Academy isn't about banging yet, but it kind of is. They're already dabbling with maid outfits. That's more like a teacher trying to bang his students. I think I'm going to give up on that show. I'm not into it.
Okay.
To Love Rude Darkness is about a guy trying to assemble a harem, which is a very noble effort, and he's got a few girls already in his corner working towards the cultivation of the harem.
I mean, nobody's doing that anymore.
They're working on some sisters. And
okay.
I think honestly we're like 1.5 out of 2 sisters down. I think it's gonna.
Okay.
So I'll keep you up to date on that. It's To Love Rude Darkness.
Okay. Yeah.
Then Fate Cully Liner Prism Ilya is like more like a brother trying to bang his little sisters, which is, I think I'm out. I'm out on that one. I'm out on that one.
No dice.
No dice now, but the most impressive banging one, and it's one that you're gonna have to actually. I need you to watch the first episode, which I think is like an episode 0 maybe.
Okay.
And I need you to watch then the most recent episode. It doesn't matter because the show doesn't make any sense. I promise you, Aquarian Logos does not make any sense.
Makes no sense, guys. Don't worry.
The plot is literally that some guy, some crazy wizard or something, arbitrarily picks a word, like a kanji, and just brings it back, and it fucks with everyone. So like last week it was love, and he just picked the word love, and he was like, now go, and then the word love, just all of a sudden everyone, like, it's all over lovey, and then all of a sudden people that were in love hate each other, and it's like the word before that, like the previous week, I don't remember, but just to give you an example, one was like twister, and then you like all like these winds broke out everywhere, and like metal was getting like twisted around things. It's like, it's really weird. It's like fighting against words. It doesn't make any sense.
All right.
But it's, so in the second to last episode, so there's this guy who tells you every episode, he's like, yo, I'm Jesus. He says he's the savior. That's all he talks about. He's like, I'm the savior. What's up? And anyone who's got
Jesus,
like, and it can be any problem. It can be like saving the earth from like a giant monster, or it can be like a cat that needs to be like let inside. Like, hey, can you let the cat in? He's like, absolutely, I can do that. I'm Jesus. What up? I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
So so this Jesus guy though, he put his number in some girl's phone. It was real classic move. It was like, she was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, here's your phone back. I put my number in it for you. I'm Jesus, by the way.
Ma'am, are you okay? What is your phone number?
Yeah, are you okay? What is your phone number? Yeah, so he just like immediately like got him in probably as Jesus. I don't know what he put his name in as, but he says he's the savior constantly. So anyway, I kid you not, you need to watch the last episode because he has a three-way and he pulls it off so slick. But he has a three-way like in space on acid with these two girls that's so powerful that it saves the earth and the concept of love itself.
Go, because he's Jesus, so it makes perfect sense.
I'm not even exaggerating. It's like she's just like because the one girl is like I love you so much because she's freaking out because of the love thing.
Sure.
And but he's already got his main girl.
Right, and then the acid.
And she's like, I need you, and he's like, well, why can't you both have me? And then they're like in space in like Gundams, and then all of a sudden they're like naked together, and they have a three-way, and it saves the world. Like Jesus has like a super good three-way, and like
life-saving three-way.
The first episode was about someone's Bible getting ripped, and then when the Bible ripped, the very like time itself and the universe itself like ripped also, and so they fixed this Bible to save the world. I don't think they understand the Bible at all, but
it doesn't sound like it. No,
I think it's much better that way. So
okay.
So there's that. That's the last thing I really want.
So just loose associations with the Bible, but not really having anything to do with the Bible.
Just like things that you would see, like there is a Bible and there is a Jesus, but other than that, there's no similarities whatsoever.
I mean, we know he was a guy in the thing. We're gonna go with that.
Guy, exactly. You got the guy. You got the thing. Nothing else.
We're gonna go with that.
Nope.
That's enough. Yeah. All right. So let's see. We got the top 10 list. Exciting list. We've got the Bale Hard list.
Oh yeah.
All equally exciting list. The season does not. Well, it's a better season, you say, so far.
I like it better than and I will also say that this is the first season in a little while that I like Crunchyroll better than Funimation. I thought Funimation
really
back the last 2 seasons, but Crunchyroll is back on top for me now.
Okay. Is there anything on the horizon, like for say the fall season, that they've kind of alerted you to that you're like that'll be smooth?
Yeah, there's K. There's an anime called K, Return of coming back, which I think you might like. It's a pretty good one. It's on like Hulu kind of channels.
Mm-hmm.
So K, and then season 2 of what is it called? It's Seraph or whatever, the vampire one on Funimation from last season. So that one's good. And yeah, there's a lot of good ones. And also the new Yu-Gi-Oh starts in a week, and in a month the new Lupin the Third starts. It premieres in Italy in August, and that is like one of those like super old, like the last series for Lupin the Third was in the 80s. That's like a super old, like popular one, but it's like a household name in Italy because it's about Italian crew. So so they're gonna premiere it in Italy, I think August 29th. All right. That's 30 years in the waiting.
Yeah. My brother was really into Lupin the Third when he was a young man. And let's just say he's not 19 anymore.
Well, alert the old man now. Lupin the Third is coming back August 29th.
The medium-sized man. Guess what? You guessed it. Lupin 3. There you go. All right. Any parting words for the masses? Any things you want to tell them that you won't tell them next week, or that you may just want to start instilling in them, like fear, hope, or love, or loathing, or any of those?
Makaro no Danshi is terrifying. It is roughly translates to Pillow Boys.
Okay.
And it is on Crunchyroll now, and basically it's like a 3 or 4 minute episode. I think it's 4 minutes. And it's a different personality like speaking to you like POV style. It's like you're playing the role of like pretty much in all of them. I would envision myself to be like a older married woman, probably. Like I would imagine that like the targeted age would be like maybe like I don't want to put an age on it, but we'll call it a mature
A
married.
mature lady. Okay.
Yeah, and like the first one was like the personality of the guy is supposed to be like the young cute guy that needs like your help. He's like blowing at like a cat, and he's being like, "Oh, you spent a long day at work. You need to lay down and I'll massage your shoulders for you." And he's like making all these cute faces. Anyway, it's really confusing, but I didn't think it would actually get picked up by either Crunchyroll or Funimation, but it's on Crunchyroll. So if you've got 4 minutes, you should not check it out. This is terrifying.
Throw it away. Throw it away.
Watch it once. Watch it once. Watch one of them. The second one was a much more mature man, and quite frankly, he wasn't for me. Not my demographic. I wanted
Your demographic.
I wanted the
That's
young. So
the young hot guy, the young hot old guy, of course.
call me old fashioned. I just wanted the young hot guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, man. You know, that's what you want. The heart wants what it wants. You can't fight it. You can't fight it. All right. Well,
Grass in the field, play ball.
woohoo, Charlie. Well, on that note, I think we're gonna call this guy. It's been a pleasure. He is the fine physical specimen, 19-year-old Alex Malinsky. I am the Rube Andre Jackson. This has been whatever the hell this podcast is. We call it animeism.org, the podcast. We're going to keep doing this. Hopefully it gets better. Feedback is encouraged. Snark is also encouraged.
In with the good, with the bad, baby.
You know, we're gonna
make the wheel go round.
That's right, baby. You tell them. All right, run, tell that. That's it, kids. Have a good one.
I love you. I'm 28. I'm sorry I lied. Bye.